And this is the thing, resilience and being resilient is about understanding the necessity to build this ability to strengthen your mental capacity, and arm your mental capacities with all the tools that it requires. Not lying to yourself, trying your very best to be as committed to the goals you've set for yourself, even though there's going to be setbacks. There's going to be a whole lot of setbacks, but it's just what life is. It's just that everything is just amplified through this whole pandemic. Everything is amplified. So I just want to say that, at least for me, that's what I've been doing. Whenever there was time, and believe me, there was more times than you may think. Those who know me may have seen some of my posts, may have seen stuff that I've said when I was going through some really, really, really rough times. But I've always had, beyond some of the friends that I have, people that I can speak to, but I've always had in me, I've understood that I needed to work on building these abilities, these mental abilities, these skills that will help me cope with critical situations that I'm facing. And this is really important to mention, because without building a set of things, putting things in place to maintain yourself in a state of positivity, you will go mad, literally, and you start doing and saying hella stupid shit. We've seen it, we've witnessed it. People losing literally their brain and thinking they're completely okay, but it's like, yo, what the hell happened? A literal 360 move, when it's like that person was this way one time and switched to this other way the next day. So it's like, look, be mindful of yourselves. Let's be mindful of ourselves. Let's really be, about, first of all, doing what feels right for us, and whatever that means for you, find out. Reinventing yourself, as Crystal was just sharing here, is one of the hardest thing to do, because it really is a fight with yourself, but it is necessary. Now, not all of us will be able to achieve that, because not all of us have that capacity or that willpower, but I believe that we have it. It's just that a lot prefer to hit the easy route all the time, and that is really where it's very sad, in my opinion. But I understand that not everybody is made equal when it comes to these things, and some people just want to be carried. They don't want to stand on their 2 feet, even though they might be hurting, and do the work that is required in order to step across that river and get to the other side, and still work your way, but be in a better place than where you're standing right now. And so welcome, Papake. Yes, indeed, evolution sometimes is the revolution. Very true, very true. And again, as far as I'm concerned, I want to go beyond my preconceived ideas, and I'm going to look at facts, and I'm going to look at, and I've been doing that, but even more so because I realize that because so many people have so much time in their hands, they're using that time to serve the wrong, I want to say the wrong, but they're serving something that's just not helping humanity. I mean, some of it is, because I'm all about keeping people woke and bringing as many alternative informations and alternative sources of knowledge that can allow each and every one of us to develop a critical mind and a sharpness of sight. But the problematic is that too many people think they know a lot about things that they don't know nothing on. and want to talk on things they don't know nothing about. And that really is a problem. Everybody want to be coming to you and telling you how you need to operate your business, or how you need to, well, you don't well, thank you, but would you take the time to listen to what I'm saying in the first place, and not just try to catch things from what I'm giving you and try to, just respond? You would understand that everything that you're telling me has already been done. And because it's already been done but not working, or not working the way you've presented it to me, I'm telling you I've tried another route and it seems to be working this time. You understand? Flexibility of the mind. At a certain point, people are so informed, they are completely disinformed. And that's the thing. There's too much information. There's too much everything. I can ask you right now if you remember what you saw in your feed 5 minutes ago on Instagram. I'm pretty certain that you won't. You won't. You won't remember what you saw in your feed 5 minutes ago. Impossible. And if you do, then you have an amazing memory. Or maybe it was something that stuck in your brain. And yes, eventually that. But, because, what we're looking in our feeds is, a glory to self, a glory to emptiness. People showing themselves in situations and positions and environments where everything seems to be amazing. It literally is Alice in Wonderland. We're literally in that whole phase, man. I mean, as I'm talking, that's really what came to mind. But it really feels like that. It's like as much as things are very real and things are very fucked up, we've sort of like built a set of things that to recreational, ways to keep our minds busy, so that we don't have to deal with what's going on outside. And I understand. I guess I might be exaggerating, but it seems to be of a bit of the implementation of a post-traumatic thing, where it's like, you know what, you build around you and you build in your mind something that is a contingency of things that allow you to stay sane, but in the meantime it's all a mirage, it's all illusion, because you are not working on the essential problem here, which is dealing with the actual situation at hand. Okay, I think a lot of people are actually lost and let down by the individualism of society. Exactly, Kay. That's exactly what it is. And we spoke about it various times, and I was just addressing that before you jumped in. And it really is the problem. As a community, as people, we are letting each other down. There's no real questions. There's no real interactions. There's no real desire to know how the other is doing. When you ask somebody, hey, how you doing? I'm all right. I'm okay. Look, if you tell me you're okay more than 5 times, you're not okay. You're not okay. There's something off. It's okay for you to complain about it. It's okay for you to open your heart and speak on it. Because you know what? Keeping it inside is not going to help you. It's not. You need to be able to have a friend. You need to be able to have somebody that you can entrust with the information you give them, so that you can speak without being judged. But you can also speak to people that can help you elevate, that can help you get to a point where, wow, you're looking at your situation from a completely different perspective and find solutions, right? Exactly, Kay. Most people pretend that they're fine. Most people pretend that everything is cool. That's what I'm saying. This is Alice in Wonderland syndrome. Everything is amazing. Oh, look at me. Here I am there. Here I am here. Here I am in this. Bro, wake the fuck up, man. Wake the F up. Come back to reality. Because you see, you're not dealing with the reality at hand. And I know it's fucked up and I know it's painful. I know it's not easy. But it's very much like using, all sorts of recreational, drugs or whatever, or alcohol, to make everything feel cool and more relaxed. And yet it's not working. You're not feeling better. but you're disconnected from that thing. So as long as you're disconnected, it's okay. But yet you're still feeling like shit. How's that making sense? For me, it doesn't. And I understand that for some it does, and it works very well for them, and they don't need to deal with reality, but they don't understand that. And don't get me wrong, I used to be like that. I never did drugs or anything like that, but I used to dive into distractions, all sorts of distractions. Like, you know, what could it be? Yeah, because I'm still from that era where we didn't really have too much social media and stuff like that, and so can't remember. Yeah, that example. I mean, yeah, I wasn't necessarily like like that. I mean, to a certain extent, I think I was lying. Yeah, I lied to myself about a couple of things when I was much younger, a couple of years ago, but something my father said to me one time, and my mother also said something in the same line. But my father said to me one time, and it was noon. I woke up late in my apartment, so he walks in, and as he walks in, you know, I could sense my father's presence. So I wake up automatically, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm embarrassed, you know. Father would wake up super early, always, you know, on the go, and he looked at me and said, son, look, I'll tell you something. You do what you want, right? But understand that in French, the sentence is le futur appartient à ceux qui se lèvent tôt. So to those who wake up early, to those the future is indeed promised. Otherwise, you're just like anyone else, trying to get by. If you don't have a sharp and thorough way of doing things, you won't achieve much. You can, but it's going to be hard. My mother said to me something. She said, you know, a successful man or a successful woman is a person that every morning makes their bed. And she smiled. Just looked at her. I said, yeah, but that doesn't make you successful. You're just making your bed, so what? He said, well, think about it. Man, I was like, this is not really making much sense to me. Damn, okay. Shit. You know, it's like, okay. So if I structure my day, the start of my day with making my bed, then it means that I'm structuring things. So from making my bed every morning, this is the thing. It became an habit. It became such a thing where even to this day, I am not feeling comfortable if my bed is not done. I don't like it. It has to be done properly. Like if, you know, I have guests. No. It has to be done, clean, properly done. Cool. Thanks to my mother, thanks to my father, you know. Had I not been told these things, and had I not had the senses in me to wake up, even though I didn't quite like the and it was actually something subtle, but it kind of hurt my ego, because I was like, you know, what the hell do you know? I'm working so late, I work so hard. And my father said to me, said, look, it doesn't matter how late and how hard you work, you still got to wake up the next day and do the same thing again. Actually do the same thing and work harder. So working hard is never going to stop, but it's not an excuse for you to you know, just mess around. Distant Shadow 4, well said. Yes, it's jacked sometimes. Like, some people are not themselves when bad things happen in the world or in their own life. If you lose a family member, wife, husband, you might change. Absolutely. But this is the thing. Some people change to either, and I don't think there's any right or wrong, but some people decide to become extremely superficial about everything. They want to go, everything has to be super light. Anything that's too deep, you lose them, you know. Same thing with interactions between a woman and a man and a woman, right? Or whatever your gender, your sexual preferences are, the interaction with another human being, and especially if they're going in the perspective of becoming intimate, some way, shape, or form. Especially nowadays, dating during these times, or sexting, or situations online and stuff like that. Definitely the norm at this point. You will clearly see the moment you start trying to go too deep with somebody in the conversation that you will lose them, because they just want to get the instant gratification of having a response from you that corresponds to the type of sequences they put in place for you to, show them some skin, etc., which actually nowadays you don't really need much to do, because usually you'll get to see skin even without asking from somebody's page, whether it be a guy or girl, whatever it is. Like, you'll see skin. You don't really even need them to ask, because people post these things anyway willingly, and it's cool and it's nice. Whatever, it's all right. I'm not a Puritanist or anything like that, because I enjoy seeing it. It's nice, but at a certain point, it's just too much, And at a certain point, all these traumas and all these pains and all these things have made a lot more weaker people, in my opinion, because we are trying to find means. And by weak, again, I'm not trying to say that people are weak because they're trying to have things that entertain them and get them out of their troubles and their pain. There's nothing wrong with that. But if that's everything that you do, that's everything your life is about, just trying to get away from anything that can remind you of your problem, or anything that can remind you of the situation you have to deal with, then you're not honoring your true self and your true purpose.